everybody, welcome to my channel. I thought I'd pop on live for just a few minutes, say hello to everyone. Unfortunately, instead of using my computer tonight, I am live by my cell phone, so it may take me a little bit to catch up in the chat and so forth. So just kind of bear with me here. It also looks like my lens needs some TLC. Oh, that helped. Okay. Well, this live stream is by request. Tanya, who just joined us in the chat, Tanya Lambert, requested it, and this was backed up by a couple of people, one of which cannot be here tonight. She has no battery life on her phone, she says. So, Tanya, it's good to see you. How have you been? Because unfortunately, I've not been able to keep up with Tanya. Hey, yeah. Well, Mel, Tanya's been asking, so I thought I'd pop on for a little bit. How are you doing? I finally heard from some family in New York, which makes me so relieved. But are you still doing okay? Because it's like with this coronavirus stuff, it's like a day-by-day thing. Tanya, are you staying well and washing your hands and staying in? I hope so. It's good to see both of you all here tonight. Yeah, wasn't really sure if I'd have anybody because it was like 15 to line, and I was like, oh, I promised. And I didn't want to disappoint. Oh, good. You're getting warm weather. Well, I'm glad. I'm really glad. Now, are you anticipating rough weather, or is that already gone a little bit further east and missed you? You're hiding. Okay. That's probably a good thing to do. Yeah, I'm in too. I'm just praying I don't have it or don't come down with it. So, because I'd rather be out traveling. It's been raining tons. Okay. Yeah, I heard about that huge tornado out in Jonesboro, Arkansas. Those things are just scary. So I'm glad you're having rain instead of storming. You feel like swimming. I hear you. Well, I will tell you, Amazon sells boats. So if you need a boat, of course, right now it's going to be hard to get anything from Amazon. But I actually bought a boat for my younger daughter one year from her birthday. Just a inflatable raft for 2 or 4 people, I forget which, but people were shocked that I got that off of Amazon. But she enjoyed it, at least I guess she did. Yeah, Amazon is doing more business than usual right now. I think they're kind of a guessing game on delivery dates too. Tanya says she has to be careful with exposures. We have people in my family who are in high-risk situations. Yep, I hear you. I'm one of those people. I'm not in your family, but I'm considered high risk. I have asthma that's real bad, and so I've been hospitalized just because of asthma. Not a fun situation. And I'm real easy to catch pneumonia, so I'm kind of scared of the virus. Yeah, Tanya says, sure you are, yeah. So I'm kind of scared. But hopefully, and we just got our first case. They announced it last night. So hopefully that doesn't pop our bubble too much because we've been kind of encased in a bubble up here. And I really kind of like that. So it's because it's difficult. Oh, thank you, Tanya. You know, we feel the same way about you being part of a soul family. I like the way you put that. For real, you have a case out there. Yeah. We just, but I'm in a real rural area. In fact, our hospital, what part of what scares me, Tanya says she has 4 cases in her county. Okay. We have 2? Okay, I'm just being informed we have 2 cases. One may not be confirmed. Okay. All right, I'm being informed by the hidden husband that we have 2 cases now. One, he says, may not be confirmed. So scary stuff. Hey, Spider-Man, how are you? Yeah. But one of the things that worries me about the virus is I live up here in a rural area and we have a lot more guns than hospital beds. We've only got a 2-bed hospital. I am not kidding. Our hospital only has 2 beds. So if it comes up here, then it's going to be a serious problem. I shouldn't say if, because it's already here. Yeah, we've only got 2 cases, but we only have a 2-bed hospital. Tanya says hi. Did you hear that? He says hi back. So, no 2-bed hospital. Yep. The reason that they do this is we wouldn't have, I don't think we would have even a 2-bed hospital, except I have heard that it's a Medicare thing, that if you provide hospital services, then you get more money on all of the services that you offer. So like they have an emergency department and physical therapy and stuff like that. Simple Life Big Adventures just came in. Hey, Simple Life. But yeah, we're doing our best. Absolutely doing our best. Now in Knoxville, which is like 3 hours plus away, then of course they've got a bigger hospital, and then we're close enough to Virginia that supposedly we can be in Roanoke in a couple of hours in a hospital there, or Winston-Salem. But those 2 aren't in our network. So it's going to have to be, the Tennessee end of things. So Knoxville's what I like to use anyway, because they've got the teaching hospital in University of Tennessee. So it's not, Knoxville's not just about football. They do a couple of other things too. So, oh, and I see, I don't have any likes yet. Y'all don't forget to hit like if you think about it. But yeah, I was completely floored when I found out that our hospital only has 2 beds. I actually got kind of mad at John's supervisors for moving us up here when I found that out. But everybody's super nice, and it's a great place to live otherwise. Tanya says they asked her name. Mel says he understands because it's about federal money. And Tanya says something, and I lost it. Wait a minute. They asked her aunt to come back to nursing. She was retired. Yeah, I understand they're calling everybody up that they can for nursing, for doctors, especially in some areas that are really harder hit. So, yeah. But they've even had, until the rule came down about not gathering in groups more than 10, then they had government offices open and stuff here until, I guess, probably just around a week ago. Tanya says she's in Vegas. Okay. I don't know how it is in Vegas, but it must be kind of bad because I was poking around the airline websites the other day, and I found with Spirit Airlines, I found tickets to Vegas round trip for like $86. Now, Spirit's supposed to be a cheap airline, but to fly anywhere round trip for $86 tells you that something's got to be going on the destination side, or they wouldn't have the tickets super cheap. So, which to me is super cheap. So I hope she's going to be all right out there. Tanya says she can barely get her on the phone. Well, she may be hiding from the phone if they're trying to pull her out of retirement. A lot of retirees don't want to go back except on their terms. So I don't blame her. Plus, it's kind of doubly concerning if they're calling her back out of retirement, because if she's old enough to retire, she might be in that high risk group. But, that's what they're doing, because they have to. Any country, I think that the medical care is only good as the lowest common denominator. And so in our case, we don't have everybody that's got insurance, so a lot are going to go without it. So, and a lot are going to go without going to the doctor, and then you've got a shortage of workers. Oh, she is back to working. Okay, she's barely home to sleep. She is working again. I hope that goes well. So, but I can't wait for all these restrictions to be lifted and everything to be safe. So I guess I should say I can't wait for restrictions to safely be lifted, because this staying home, as you all know, gets old really fast. And out traveling, I've made my list. I have this super long list of places to go. But at least being home, I get to do some research my next travel trip. Simple Life says she's ready to go play again. Sure. Absolutely. So when you say you want to go play again, are you talking about wanting to go out in an RV and travel, or are you wanting to go just outdoors and be active? Because that can mean a lot of different things to a lot of different people. So, but yeah, at least we can plan. And we were talking last night too about staying busy now that you're home. Simple Life says yes to all of it. There you go. Absolutely. I hear you completely. So, yeah, and we were talking last night about staying busy at home. So, right now, that hasn't been a problem, though. I thought I'd have all this extra time. Peter Parker says, Gayle, come to Fargo. Love to see you in person. I've been to Fargo. I have been. I stopped there. Gosh, it's been, I guess I've been through Fargo 2 or 3 times. I stopped at the West Acres All Stop. And let's see, it's right across the street from the hotel. It was the Best Western at the time. We actually had to stay at the Best Western because the car broke down that we were driving. And let's see, Tanya says, they are doing a bear hunt here. You hide a bear around your home or in the window and post it on the St. Clair Facebook page, just the street name. I'm having to do this from my phone because we're having crappy Wi-Fi issues. Post just the street name and parents drive around trying to find it. That's neat. And Simple says, we're trying to do the right thing and stay home. We're cleaning everything. And Peter Parker says, yep, I know where that's at. Okay. I hope so, Tanya. I hope so. I'd kind of planned, as you know, to try coming this spring, but all of my plans are kind of screwed up right now, as with everybody else. So hopefully now it's looking probably like the fall. So hopefully this stuff will be tampered down by then. So I think that's going to be the way it is. So hopefully though, it'll be tampered down. Because my husband, after all of this time, and a lot of other people are going to be in the boat, it's like, how do you go to your boss and say vacation time when you've got this going on and you know they might not be able to? Oh my gosh, A over 50 and fantabulous, thank you very much. But yeah, I mean, it's hard. So you get, after all of this, you go to your boss, or in his case the church committee, and say, hey, I want time off for a vacation. At least with him, and I'm sure a lot of others, that's not going to fly too well. And thank you for that super chat. Tanya says they're using ice cream trucks to deliver groceries and stuff to people. That is a wonderful use of an ice cream truck. Over 50 says, God bless you, Sister Gayle. Take care. Over 50, you are a blessing. You've probably seen my videos. I've been having a really hard time lately, but things are better. But just as soon as I say that, something else happens. So now I'm like hesitant. But Simple says our first plans are for camping April 24 at Fall Creek Falls. My fingers are crossed. Fall Creek Falls is an amazing place to camp. And over 50 saying hi, Tanya. Yeah, that's a great place to camp. But are the state parks open? I know some of the TVA parks are down. Tanya says you can borrow Archer or Ginger. Thank you. Thank you. I'm looking into cares for another service dog. Um, I was checking some others, and as Tanya's pointed out, cares will train for multiple disabilities. So if they'll take me as a client, then I think I'm going to go with that because of multiple disabilities, because of cost, because of their track record is being proven. Thank you, over 50. Thank you. I appreciate that a lot. It's been very difficult. I don't know if you know, but we're talking about I lost my service dog. So, and he was great. So I don't know what kind of dog cares would place with me. Hopefully, like a golden retriever or a lab, something like that. I don't think I want another husky. They can be a little stubborn, but on the other hand, they bond so tightly. That's part of how they learn to sense that you're having problems. So, like when my leg muscle would seize up on the right leg where I've got the nerve issue for my back, he knew it before I did. And he would come over and he would just go ahead and get into place and lay down on my leg and do the DPT, and the pressure and the heat from his body really helped. But huskies bond so tightly that's part of what makes them, a little more likely to sense that and low blood sugar and seizures and stuff. Okay, they give you a choice of 3 breeds. That's good. That's really good to know. But I can't do anything about getting, Tanya says you can download the application from the website. I actually did, but I can't do anything about getting paperwork filled out until the doctors start seeing clients in the offices. So that is going to be a while, according to my doctor anyway. Simple says, after April 10, at this point, the Tennessee State Parks, we have our reservation. I'm having to stream from my phone because we've had tons of internet problems right now. After April 10, at this point, for the Tennessee State Parks, we've had a reservation for a while. With this coronavirus, it could change at any time. Yeah, it could. Tanya says, I tried to be honest with my experience with them. You have to be, because they can't help you if you're not. Thank you, Simple. Thank you. And the thing is, people say, oh, yeah, I've lost pets. And I get that, and I don't want to minimize that. But a service dog is with you all the time. They can go most of the places where humans can go. So he's been to the hospital emergency department with me. He has been to pre-op with me. He's been in, like, they don't let him go in x-ray because that can be bad for the dog, but he can wait outside, and certainly restaurants and camping. I mean, the dog made more round trips. This is no joke. He made more round trips to Alaska with me in the van and driving than my husband did. So you have that 24/7 connection. And so you just, or it could just be me. We Italians get sentimental. But it just felt like, your legs are cut out from under you, which I'd already been looking, thank goodness, at several agencies that train and looking into private training and stuff. And I dragged my feet, and then we moved and all this stuff. So now I'm kind of in a pickle. But, we'll see. For those of you who are not familiar, from the time after you get the paperwork done, which can take a while, and get your deposit and stuff submitted, then it takes about 18 months to 2 years on average before they actually get the service dog and place them with you. And that's part of that is because when you fill out the information and send it in, that's when they start looking for a dog. So the dog has to be the right temperament. The dog has to fit other parameters. Like in my case, I want a big dog so that he's tall enough to kind of brace up against me if I start to fall, or is tall enough to like let EMS in. So you have to have a dog that's tall enough to really reach the door latch. Stuff like that. All goes into consideration. And so once they find a dog that potentially has the temperament, that is the right size and other requirements that you need, then start training the dog. The dog has to be fully trained, and there are some breeds that really don't get out of puppyhood until they're over 2, and a lot of people don't know that. So you kind of get a little bit anxious when you know it can be 18 months to 2 years, but when you look at the process, and so far none of the agencies that I've talked with have this magical tap of dogs that they can just tap into and start training, because everybody's got to have their dog trained a little differently for different things. And so that's another reason why apparently they don't have this stash of dogs, so to speak. So let's see. Plus, it's going to take time to get the deposits and stuff up. Oh, Archer, which is Tanya's service dog, says he's sleeping on the floor, and that drives me nuts when he isn't working. And it took her 3 years because she wanted a specific temperament and had to pay in installments. Yeah, we're going to have to pay in installments. And I see a lot of bake sales in my future with whatever way we go. So, and I have to say, if we didn't have the van to travel in, looking at someplace in Kansas might be a lot different than looking at someplace in Tennessee, because I know I can go and I can take the van, or if my husband has the RV fixed, I can take the RV and have a place to stay that's cheaper and know I've got something. So, but anyway, that's my whole saga there with my service dog. So yeah, that's kind of the way that goes. But oh, Simple Life, are you still in here? Is she still here? Because I have this thing that's sitting here from last night that if she's here, I'm going to mention to her. She might need something like that for traveling. And I've got to check out, oh my gosh, talking about getting ready for traveling, Ready Pro Supplies. I just got a thing saying they have some neat stuff in, or what looks like it's going to be neat stuff in. So I've got a link for them down below, but I'm an affiliate for them, but I don't get like things given to me from them because they won't do that. So you have to actually try their product, and then if you like it, then there you go. But you have to pay for everything, which is fine. But they've got some neat stuff, and I'm excited. So let some of this coronavirus go away, and I'm going to be perusing them for more neat stuff for traveling. So Spider-Man, you said you know where the West Acres is? That's so cool. Yeah. We went there kind of by duress, you could say, because we got caught in the Minnesota down at Minneapolis, St. Paul, and the timing belt snapped on my little PT Cruiser. Left us stranded, of course, Sunday morning. Oh, of course. And we're calling for a tow, and they decided that they needed to tow us into Fargo because they said that would be the best place to take us. So we wound up at the West Acres All-Stop in Fargo early on a Sunday morning, and the record driver, I'll never forget that, he dropped us off, and he said, well, they'll look at it in the morning. And I'm like, no, not in the morning. We're on this trip, and I've got to get to Alaska. Surely they can look at it today. And he's like, nope, they're closed today. Then he looked at me, he's like, don't people go to church where you're from? And I was like, oh yeah. Totally kind of forgot about that. So they, at least at the time, were closed on Sundays. So we had to go to the hotel across the street and pay more money than I like to pay for a hotel room, because they hit us for, okay, this is back in 2009. I'm just going to say, toss out that, but they hit us for like $90 a night at this hotel. And so, yeah. But when you have car problems and you're stuck out, then you have to go to what's close to the shop because you got to walk. And fortunately, there's a shop right across the street. And that's part of what factored in to us going all the way to Fargo with the tow, is because when he looked it up on his GPS or whatever, there wasn't that kind of situation. So, yeah, but they were nice. They gave me a free car wash. So, yeah. Well, I guess Simple Life is probably going on. Don't blame her. So, I have to check out her channel again later. So, yeah. So, I guess that all of my service dog videos are going to be on hold for a while. But that's okay. The way it goes. So, yeah. So, what are you all up to? How are y'all staying busy now that we're home? With me, I thought that I was going to have lots of time to do lots of things. And so I have beads and jewelry projects over here waiting on me. But I've been doing everything but. So, but I am getting caught up on videos, I will say. I am. So, slowly. Very slowly. So, and I've been working some also on my other channel. Tanya, I know you know about my other channel. I'm not sure if anybody else does or not, but it's youtube.com/overcoming the obstacles. And I'll be live streaming with StreamYard on that channel too, because that's what I usually use. And if you notice tonight, my room is flipped. So the word subscribe on the pillow is backwards. And that's because the settings on my phone are different than the settings on my computer. So I'll have to go in and try to change that later. It's going to be live on YouTube like this, but it's the way it goes. So how about y'all? Okay, let me see what's up here. Oh, I see what's going on. It stopped giving me the chat. Here I am kind of going, what's going on? Okay, let me back up. Karen for you is here. So hi, Karen for you. Tanya says it's a good thing about CARES. You get a vest, mobility harness if you need one, 20-pound bag of dog food. Tell them it's your second service dog. You may get less than a week. Simple says she's been cleaning closets and shampooing. Tanya's saying hi to Karen. Tanya says I'm getting a travel easel and have been painting and drawing, which you do very well on. Karen says I sucked my feet and cut toenails. Mini spa day. Ah, sounds good. Tanya says I can put a few jars for donations out for you here if you like after quarantine. I may talk about that. Gosh, I'm going to be doing tons and tons of stuff. I have no idea what, but the first thing I have to do is get the paperwork filled out and go from there. So, and Simple, you said you were doing cleaning. I don't know if you caught the part of the video of the live stream last night when I talked about this, but a friend of mine has one and I am a little bit in awe of it. This little thing is a jump starter for your car, and it's just in this little package. And what it is this, the battery is this size, if you can tell just by me holding it with my hand. Okay, you missed the stream last night, so sorry I did. I didn't know, sometimes people catch it afterwards. So, and sometimes they do and don't leave comments, but so you never know for sure. But while I was on the live stream last night, we had this guy come in, Plum Bob, who is very mechanically inclined. And I asked him what he thought about these little batteries. And he likes them. He said that he got one for his kids for their birthdays. And it is just the neatest thing. Oh, and it's got a compass on it, which is going to be great for me. Amazon. I order lots of things from Amazon. So that's where I got this. A girlfriend had one that went with me to Alaska, and she was talking about it. But here we go. Looking for the thing on the side. All you do after you charge it, which you charge it by USB, which kind of freaks me out a little bit, but I've heard good things. And then all you do is plug this into the side of the box, and there's the jumper cables. And let's see, Karen is saying, I don't drive, but wish something could energize me sometimes. I hear you. Totally hear you. That's what caffeine and chocolate are for. Yeah. So Simple, I just thought I would mention that just in case you have not seen these. But I have to say, I was a little skeptical, and I'm doing a review on it, but I don't have any way to test it out because my car battery isn't down. She says, that's awesome. We're notorious, unfortunately, for letting a battery drain down. We need to check into one of those. Yeah. I'm kind of it all. So, but my girlfriend has one, different brand probably, because I don't think she ordered hers off of Amazon like I did. But I was a little skeptical because they were so small. But for Plum Bob to say that he gave them to his kids really speaks volumes to me. The other neat thing about it is you can charge devices on it. And I'm thrilled with that. So if I'm out and my phone goes bad. Now I still have, Pop-Up gave me this. I want it on his channel, which is solar charges. I see you guys are talking about solar. So I still have this, which charges by solar. But it's nice. It won't jump off your car like this one will. So it's going to be nice to have both. But I couldn't believe that something this small that you would charge in a USB port would actually work. And look, it's got a flashlight on it too. If I can remember how to turn it on. Ah, yeah. So, flashlight. So, Tanya, I have solar lights in the kitchen and bedroom with the solar panels in the windows. There you go. I tell you, we have solar on the van, and I would never go without it now. Simple says, yes, we ran our camper, we ran our camper van down in Arizona, and they had a similar one in the rental. We couldn't believe something like that small would jump a truck. Now, see, I was thinking that this might jump off my Peachy Cruiser if I needed to. I didn't ever dream that it would possibly jump off a van. That is wonderful to know. Karen for you says she has an unusual lamp that runs for 4 hours on one tea light candle, has LED lights. Amazon had it. That sounds cool. That sounds real cool. I may have to look for that. Does it seem like it would be good for camping? Because I'm always looking for good camping stuff. Always. Because I don't care how many flashlights I have, inevitably they'll go down at the wrong time, and I'll want a candle for backup. So I've got tea lights in the van. So they are great to have. Because you never know. Simple says, sound like it would be good for camping. Yeah, I'm with Simple. I think so too. So, hopefully it's made that way and the wind will, maybe it's got a dome or something on it. I hope. Crossing my fingers on that one too. Because, yeah. But yeah. Simple, do you have solar on your van? It's for outside. Yes. Okay, she says it's for outside, yes. Candle inside a metal case. That sounds great. Karen, are you in our Facebook group? If you are, would you post a screenshot or something? Because I'd like to look for that. Yeah, Tanya says she thinks she'll get one. We tend to lose electric in tornado season. Yeah. Now that is one thing, since moving up here, we don't get tornadoes much. In fact, they said they've only had one in the past few years, which is a lot different from Bradley County, Tennessee. Simple says we don't have solar yet, but it's plug and play ready for a panel. We just need to invest. Yeah, I totally am sold on solar on the van. One of the things when my husband gets the trailer done, which we're redoing, I told him, I said, just cover the top in solar panels. So that and a large battery bank. So we've got a solar panel with a 100 amp hour battery that we've been real pleased with. So, yeah. Oh, Simple. If you are in the chat sometime and you see Amber, which I think she is Country Living Adventure, something like that. I'll have to look again, but she's off grid, and she was a big help to me and my husband when we were looking at solar for the van. So she could tell us, like about brands and things like that. Tanya says she loves the idea of solar power. Yeah, I like it. It can be a pain sometimes, and I don't think actually that I would want to have much of it on my house because it can be temperamental. But as a backup, I think it would be great for certain things. So yeah, it's just that with the wires and the battery bank that you have to do things with, it's more of when something goes wrong, you're trying to track down that problem. And the nice thing is when the van, everything's up on top. So you don't have critters going in and chewing through wires. We had one friend that had that happen, and it took her a while to figure out where the problem was. She said, Simple says she sounds interesting. We're holding off because we have no clue. That would be cool for somebody to talk to, though. Yeah, they were a huge help to us. So, you never go wrong with gathering information. And I don't care what it is. Information gathering is tops. Because that way, when you do take the plunge, I don't care if it's solar or whatever, if you're looking at making an investment, once you do take the plunge, you have a much better platform to do that from. And Karen says, Caframo Limited, JOI candle excellent. Powered LED lamp, stainless steel, about $97 though, expensive but well built. Great. Good to know. Thank you very much for that. That's the key to everything, Simple. She says she's always trying to research and learn. Yeah, that's the key to everything. Our family gives me a hard time because when it's time for us to go car shopping, it takes me a long time because I spend my time, I'm doing research, I'm looking at consumer reports, websites, and all of that. But it really paid off because I had bought this minivan once. A friend of mine had it, and she's like, oh, you have tons of, this was way back in the day. And she was raving about how much space you have and stuff. And I did, you do. Excuse me. The problem is the first time I went to the store, I could not put my grandmother's wheelchair in the back end and the groceries we'd had to get for her. So we had come into some money and I paid cash for it, and I went back to the dealership, and this was after having it maybe 3 weeks, and they would not talk to me about trading that van in on something else. Because by this time I did more research, and I'm like, I really want a Ford Windstar. And they were like, that's nice. You're at a Nissan dealership. And I was like, yeah, but I know you can get it. So spent some more time doing some more research. Wound up finding a Ford Windstar at a Chevy dealership of all places, and went in and talked to him, and it was an even trade. The value of the Windstar had a few more miles, but it was valued higher than mine, but the mileage knocked it down. So we did an even trade. Cost me $10. So, and that was the fee to the state to get my tags transferred over. So you never know what's going to happen by doing your research. And I obviously should have done a lot more. But I got the van at a great price, the first van, and then certainly the second van was, and we got, it had like, I don't know, 70,000 miles or something like that on it, but we kept it to around 330,000. So it was worth the investment. So yeah, always do that research. It helps. Oh, and Karen for you says it was cheaper 5 years ago when she got it. The price may be cheaper somewhere else on the internet. So I'm just glad to know it's there. That sounds great. And, who knows? I like using Bing rewards, so I tend to save my $5 gift cards until they accumulate. So maybe I'll get enough to knock down that. Simple says, ladies, it's been nice hanging out with y'all, but it's about bedtime. LOL. Good night. Good night, Simple. Thank you for stopping in. And I'm probably going to go here in a few more minutes, just because I'm getting a battery alert on my phone that I hadn't planned on getting. So I'll wait till it gets to about 13% because I know when it gets to that point, it's fixing to shut off. Because it goes from like 13 to 0. So. But thank you all for hanging out with me tonight. I really didn't know how this would go on such short notice. But Tanya, I appreciate you asking about it and encouraging me to do it. Tanya says, well, thank you, Gayle. It was nice typing with you all. So, yeah, it's good hanging out with you. We've got a couple more minutes. I'm sure, I hope. It's at 15%, so we'll see. I keep putting off buying a new phone. It's like, I just don't want to make that investment. I'm on the prepaid phones from Straight Talk, which has wonderful service. Like right now, our service on this phone is better than our Wi-Fi. You're welcome, Tanya. I'm just glad to be able to do it. But yeah, but the thing is about Straight Talk is you have to buy your phones completely. There's no real finance plan with them, so it's like, hold off. Those really sound nice. They do. Karen for you says, I have a $148 phone, Android. That's a little bit more than I'm hoping to spend. I'd like to kind of keep it around 100. I may have to go more. Either that or I want to completely go super expensive and get a Google Pixel. But Google Pixel is kind of out of my price range. Maybe if the stimulus checks really do come through in a timely manner before I absolutely have to get a new phone. Maybe. But which phone did you get, Karen? Oh, she pays $5 a month for it, no interest. What service provider do you have? Oh, Tanya likes Verizon. Okay. The phone that I've got works on Verizon towers, but it's actually the Straight Talk service. But for $45 a month, I get unlimited everything. I had one to get one I could see and use easy due to my disabilities. Makes sense. Makes sense. Yeah. So Karen, what kind did you get? You know, picking a phone's almost like picking a car because you have certain things you want it to be able to do. And this phone keeps running out of memory. Karen says, LG, KB, only US Cellular works in my area. Ah, okay. We don't have consumer cellular or US Cellular up here. Neither one work. And Tanya has a Samsung. Yeah. Samsungs are good phones. That's what I'm talking to y'all on. So, the thing that intrigues me about the Pixel is the camera. It's supposed to be able to do night photography. So I'm guessing if it'll do night photography, it'll work good in low light. I've read that. But you know, sometimes there's a difference in advertising versus reality. So, Tony says it's her favorite brand. Okay. And oh, really? Oh, really, to which? Nice. And Karen for you says, oh, sounds good. Yeah. It's got, I guess technically your high speed is limited, but it's like 25 gig. So even as much as I'm online with my phone, I've never used 25 gig. I've used like 14 and 16, but not the 25. And that's high speed. And then after that, you still have it, but it cuts you back to like 3 meg, I think. Just enough to get you on for your email, basically, when they drop you down. But 25 gig, I've never used it. So, and it's got, of course, like I said, unlimited everything. So talk, text, internet, your data, no problem. And for me, it was important that it worked on Verizon towers because of the way I travel. Tanya says she pays $7, but that includes mobile hotspot and a few other things. Yeah. You can tether with these. You used to not be able to, but now they say that as long as your phone is capable of tethering, you can tether with these. So that's what the Straight Talks website said, but this one's not capable of doing that. But yeah, I've been happy because, and you can get Straight Talk phones that work on different providers' towers. For example, AT&T was big, but that didn't work where we used to live. We're in pretty much a Verizon tower area, all of like East Tennessee and, you know, going further south and kind of along parts north, I-81, I-95 and so forth. But this phone even worked in Alaska, so I'm not going to complain. So that's kind of nice. But let's see. Yeah, but $70 is a lot for me in my budget right now. Okay, there goes my 13%. All right, you guys, thanks for watching. Always hashtag be bodacious. Don't let life get in the way of living. And sorry to say that so fast, but I know my phone's fixing to go very, very shortly here. So thank you all very, very much for watching, and I hope you have a splendid evening. So take care. Good night, Karen and Tanya. Take care. Oh no, it's going. No, no, no.